This is the homework. This is the third video, video 3, for the homework 4.2. And here in the first part of the Go, we're talking about set notation. Below you will find the domains of several different functions. The domains are described in either set notation or interval notation. Fill in the missing notation. So we haven't looked at set notation, so let's take a look at it. It's longer than interval notation, which is why I like interval notation. Set notation looks kind of cool though, because it has these brackets and this R means real numbers, and there's symbols for whole numbers, integers, etc. So this means that X, well this means X such that X is a member of the real numbers. So this little thing that looks like an E, I kind of think of it as it's pointing towards what it is a member of. So X is a member of the real numbers. Interval notation, it has to be real numbers. So you shouldn't use interval notation unless it is a continuous function. All right, so let me just show you what I wrote there. I just wrote continuous function. So before, when we didn't really know exactly what we were doing, we used some interval notation for functions that were continuous or discrete, but we're going to get a little more specific now. So interval notation means it's a member of the real numbers. So what you were going to do here is the interval is in between -2 and 6, as you can see, because this means x is greater than -2. And also x is less than 6. So all the numbers in between -2 and 6 are in this interval. So I know it's going to be -2, 6. And then I say, okay, well, it doesn't include -2. It doesn't say or equal to. So the tiniest bit past -2 is fine. So we do the curved brackets for interval notation. The next one shows me interval notation. So I'm just going to copy X such that X is a member of R. Usually you do that. That's like a capital R with 2 lines here. It's real numbers. You don't have to draw that exactly. And we're between -4 and 7. So you can see there's a comma here. -4 and over here 7. And then in the middle I'm going to have my X. And then square bracket. So I'm going to write a less than or equal to sign. So -4 is less than or equal to X. And then square bracket here, so we need the or equal to as well. So that's kind of all there is to it. I think you can try the rest of them on your own. Just the only trick is, am I going to put less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or just a less than or greater than? Well, we'll do number 20 because it's a little different because it doesn't have the X in between two things. So what does that mean? Well, that means greater than or equal to -9 all the way to infinity. Yay. Infinity always gets a curved bracket because it doesn't end, so there's nothing to include, and this says or equal to, so square bracket. The rest of them I'm going to leave to you. All right, I'll do 2 or 3 of these. For each of the inequalities provided, graph the values being described on the number line. All right. X is greater than 5, so we'll put a 0 in there somewhere. And then we put a 5 wherever we want. You don't have to be really picky about it, as long as it's to the correct side of the 0. We want everything greater, but not including 5. So open dot, arrow to everything that's bigger. Okay, what about here? Put my 0. And then I want all the numbers in between 0 and -7, so I'm going to make a -7 over here. And I'm not including 0, so that gets an open dot. I am including -7 because the equal sign is under the less than sign. So closed dot. Make that clear and just connect them with a segment. Okay. The rest of that you should be able to try to do on your own. Do your best.